Hello everybody. Today I would like to tell you about two topics. Number one, first, the speaker required the people to write their name in the capital letters at the top before doing anything else. Next, he advised to read the letters carefully before answering the question and mark the answer on their answer sheet. After that, he suggested letting him know if they didn't have a battle. Finally, he said when they have finished turning the test, and then they may go home. Number two, first, the speaker introduced Mr. Suki with playing a violin concerto. Then the concert that evening would be preceded by a brief talk by Professor Robert Simon, who had lectured on the violin around the world on the history of violin. After that, following the performance, they would all go to the lobby to enjoy refreshments. Finally, the speaker heard the lecturer who would introduce Professor Mr. Simon. Number three, first, the speaker required the people to sign at the lab and get the visitor badge when entering the building. Then he said they would need to wear it at on time when they were in the building. Next, wire to an escort to accompany them to their destination, and they must be also escorted back via station desk and be reminded to sign out and return their best when leaving. Finally, he thanked them for their cooperation. Number four, first, the speaker got the customer's attention because the store would close in 15 minutes. Next, he required the people to check on their purchase to the cashier then. After that, he said if they were buying five or fewer items and were paying with cash, and they could use the express checkout line. Finally, he suggested having the receipt ready to show the watch when leaving the store and checking to make sure on their items were the right size or and color before they bet because they didn't accept return. Number five, first, the speaker announced that coming up after the news were weekend weather report. Then reporter Thomas Charles would interview Susan Gilbert about her new book, How to Get Rich in the Stock Market. Next, he introduced that Miss Gilbert was renowned his breadth on the investing and financing and wrote the weekly newspaper column You and Your Money. After that, she commented the show should be a very informative show. Finally, he introduced Peter Cook with the news. Number six. First, the speaker announced the people that there should be a large turnout for the following day afternoon, National Day Parade, and it would be proceeded by the mayor and chief of police. Next, everyone was invited to enjoy a barbecue and firework at the city park in the evening. After that, he said the were free event and don't forget to attend the morning soccer game at National Stadium. Finally, he arrived to Rio early to gain a good seat because the game was also free. Number 7. But the speaker announced that a few changes had been made to their conference schedule because of the schedule in conflict. Then Professor Jamison would speak in immediately following lunch instead of before that. He said morning coffee would be served in the front hall instead of in the dinner room. After that, he said the morning workshop would begin at 10 o'clock at the ordinary schedule, but in the afternoon session would then begin until 1:30. Finally, he introduced Mr. Golden would give an opening talk. Number 8. First, he announced that the president left today for a visit to Latin America. Then he would head first to a meeting in Mexico City with leaders from Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico. Finally, the president would go on to the meeting with head of state in Peru and Ecuador to a factory and meet with union leaders in both countries after a few days of a break at the Mexican beaches resort. Number 9. First, the speaker congratulated me on becoming an owner of a bird horrific 2010 Bread Mocking Machine that he assured to have a legacy of having fresh baked every day while in our home. After that, he showed the way to use the bread machine. First, choose a receipt from the instruction book. Next, assemble and measure the ingredients. Finally, place them in the machine. Finally, the commented that they won't be able to wait for the first settle why the bread back. Number 10. First, the speaker announced that people could register for collection by calling the phone to avoid the long line at registration office. Then he required to flash one if they were a new student or flash two for returning students. Next, enter the social security number. Next, class number. Next, and enter the credit card number after they had selected on the classes. After that hang up, finally they would receive the receipt by mail within 5 days. Trời ơi.